Justin Trudeau is going to shuffle his cabinet one more time because one of his high profile and personal friends, Seamus O'Regan, the Labour Minister, is no longer going to seek re-election. Hello, I'm Adrienne Batra. With me are Lorrie Goldstein and Brian Lilley. So, Brian, what do we know about this shuffle? Seamus O'Regan announces on X that he is not going to be seeking re-election whenever that next federal election is. He's going to collect a nice, healthy pension, courtesy of Canadian taxpayers. But is this more of a look at Seamus O'Regan wants to do something on his own? He's been long enough. Or is it because the Liberals are facing a massive upheaval and potential electoral loss in all regions of the country, including Atlantic Canada?
He is not quite eligible for his pension. I just pulled that up. He's born January 18th, 1971. So for those of us born in 71, not quite 55 yet. He's got to wait a couple of years. But look, he's done well over the years. He was Canada AM host for many years before going into politics, along with Marcy Ian, who's still in cabinet for now. O'Regan says he's leaving due to family reasons, pressures of the job, wants to be a better husband and father, all of those things that politicians say when they look at the writing on the wall and say, I'm out. Look, that could be part of the reason. He may be feeling the pressure. The pressure on family life of politicians is incredible, but you don't go into the job unless you know that. So it's probably a combination of, look, I'm feeling a lot of pressure at home, and I'm probably going to lose, so let's bow out now. He's stepping down as a cabinet minister. I'm wondering if Trudeau is now saying to everybody else, look, if you're going to leave, tell me now. But if he did that, there might be a stampede for the doors, quite frankly. Not Chrystia Freeland. She's enjoying her position, standing on top of the plank that Trudeau's trying to get her to walk. I love that Nice cartoon that we ran the other day. It showed it perfectly. Trudeau with a sword at Freeland's back, telling her to jump and asking Mark Carney to jump on board. One of my friends said online, all this talk about Freeland and Carney means we're not talking about Trudeau, except that we're talking about how messed up his government is. And right now it's messed up.
Well, Lorrie, it's sort of a similar posture that former MP from Toronto St. Paul's, Carolyn Bennett, took. She said, I'm not going to run in the next election. I'm going to stay on as the MP. We know that the results of the Toronto St. Paul's by-election did not go in the Liberals' favor. It went Conservative after almost 3 decades. Liberals are in upheaval. Should Trudeau stay? Should Trudeau go? But O'Regan is now saying, I'm going to stay on. But then Bennett went on to get a very nice plum ambassadorship and a nice appointment. It's possible Trudeau will do the same for his buddy, Seamus O'Regan. They are friends. They have been for a long time. And, and sort of leave the riding. And lo and behold, we have to have another by-election. What's your sense of this?
Well, 2 things. First of all, it is not the responsibility of Canadian taxpayers to see that the members of Justin Trudeau's wedding party, have a good life in politics. Now, having said that, though, because that's a shot, so let me say something else. The alternative is politicians who try to hang on forever, right? In other words, okay, at least he's not going to be a career politician. It's 9 years, he's going out. I kind of agree with that. I kind of agree with 2 terms. If you can't do in 2 full terms, I mean, they've had 2 minorities, but effectively, it's like been in power for 9 years. You should be leaving by then. I agree with the fact that the American president can't serve more than 2 full terms, because the alternative is these, and we all know them, at every level of government, they've turned public service, or what they call public service, into a career. And,
right.
And to me, that's bad. You want new people in, regardless of party. Now, again, with Seamus O'Regan, one of the things I will credit him for when he was Natural Resources Minister, he told the truth about lowering greenhouse gas emissions. He said, we're never going to get there without nuclear power. Well, as you know, that freaks out all of the, green activists who somehow want us to, power a modern industrialized country with wind and solar, apparently unaware that wind and solar they're not reliable enough because they're intermittent. So I'll give them that. The broader thing I see, though, and I mean, we've raised Freeland, is the chaos that this is in. I mean, it would be perfectly fine. Look, they're going to have a shuffle. If Trudeau's not going to leave, there's going to be a shuffle, whether it's now or before they come back in September. And it would have been perfectly reasonable, as governments function, for the prime minister, after long service of Chrystia Freeland, as effectively the prime minister when Trudeau wasn't there. I mean, that's what she was, the actual prime minister who was doing the job, right? Okay, you're going to change her. You're going to put her into Treasury Board. You're going to bring in some new person, whether it's, Mark Carney or whoever. But the hatchet job that's been done on her, I'm no fan of Chrystia Freeland. We've all been very critical of her delivery, of her policies, of the things she says Canadians should do to cope with. But the one thing you can say about Freeland, she's been a loyal soldier, and she doesn't deserve this. And the fact that they had to hatchet Freeland to justify a change in the deputy premier and the finance ministers you head into an election, which normally would be a non-story. Okay, who is it? Yeah, that's interesting. Who is it? And to me, that shows the desperation of these people. And what it to me is in the PMO is they know their problem. Their problem is Trudeau. The only chance they have is for the prime minister, and only he can make that decision, to say he's not going to run. And because they don't have that, they have to throw others under the bus. And so in this case, it's Freeland. Frankly, if I was a Liberal cabinet minister, I'd be getting out now anyway, before they could do the hatchet job on me.
Well, Laura, Brian, they say that that term "loyal to a fault," perhaps that is what Freeland has been. She's always put forward the policies of the Trudeau's government. The PMO basically puts the talking points in front of her, and here she goes. No, she's failed. To be clear, she's been a terrible communicator. She has been a bad representative of in that regard, and doesn't have a good handle on finances in Canada. But that said, I predict that Freeland isn't going anywhere, and that Mark Carney is not stepping one toe near Ottawa to be in any part of cabinet. What say you?
I'm not sure why he would, but I also am not sure why anyone would try and run for the Liberal Party. So if you're Mark Carney, you're being enticed to come on, and according to the reporting that Trudeau met with him last Sunday, and they had conversations and asked him to join government and either run in a by-election, maybe in Newfoundland to replace Seamus O'Regan, run in a by-election, or promise to run in the next general election. They want him in. If I'm Mark Carney, I'm looking at this and saying, okay, you're currently knifing your number two in the back. Why would I join you?
That's right.
But that is also what every prospective Liberal candidate has to be saying. When you look at how they treated Leslie Church, who narrowly lost in Toronto St. Paul because of the unpopularity of the Prime Minister, Karina Gould, who is cabinet minister, I think she's currently on mat leave, but she's still working away as Liberal co-chair for the Ontario campaign. She's in charge of finding new candidates. And after the Toronto St. Paul by-election loss, she blamed Leslie Church. She didn't say there was a problem with the policies, that maybe the war between Israel and Hamas was a factor in a riding with a significant Jewish population. She didn't say that maybe holding the by-election the day before the capital gains tax changes came in a riding with a high percentage of small business owners and professionals was a bad idea. She blamed Leslie Church. She threw her candidate under the bus. Are you going to step up and run for the Liberals in the next election with that? I remember last fall when I heard that Church was seeking the nomination there, and I was talking to a senior Liberal, and I said, are you guys trying to get star candidates? And they laughed and they said, you think we can get star candidates these days? That was in November or December of last year. That wasn't recently, and it's only gotten worse. So, and they're making things worse for themselves. They can have this tiny shuffle, but it's not going to amount to much, and it's not going to change the channel. As Lorrie said, Trudeau going, that's it.
Well, let us know what you think in the comments below. Like this video and subscribe to our YouTube channel, and go to thetorontosun.com. You'll find commentary and coverage there you will not find anywhere else.